Hello, welcome to this trading forecast. Going to kick off with crypto this week and finish with FX. Starting with Ethereum, I've got a couple of levels marked out this candle low. We haven't quite come down and raided that yet, so we've had a little bit of a relief bounce, and I'm just looking to any signs of weakness at this candle's high and be looking to sell into. We do have a pattern unfolding that I like to see in the market. Is we have this mother bar, and then we have an inside day. We've come up and we've raided one side, and now I'm looking for patterns in the lower time frames come down and sweep the other side of this candle's range. You can see a few examples of this if we just go back in time. We have this mother bar here, and you can see that we have an inside day, another inside day. We come up, raid one side, and then we've got a quick expansion down and we take out the other side of the range. We also have an example here, inside day, come up, raid one side of the range, and then we have a quick expansion down to the bottom of this range. So it's a bearish pattern. It looks like it could be unfolding. What would negate this is, if we get a daily close above here and stay above here and look to come up into these lows, and then that'll be the next area where I would look for some selling to come in. But at the moment, looking for some bearishness in Ethereum. Some levels to try and get in. Well, most obvious is these candles opens and closes. You can see that it's going to be support and resistance running through the market there. So if we go down into the lower time frames, let's go down into the 2 hour, see how that looks. We can sort of tidy this up. We can also add a little bit of confluence if we like with this trend line. So we have support here, support here, support here. If we're looking for bearishness, we do have this candle's low bounce, so we had a bounce here. If we can break structure, come up and retest from the underside, we would have resistance over here, support here, and then that could give us the confluence to look for some selling opportunities. So on the sidelines at the minute and waiting to see if we can break it down any further, something like this, and I'll be able to pull the trigger on that trade. Bitcoin, very similar, so let's go look at that. Bitcoin is just stuck in this range, so we have range lows here, support, support, and support, and we have resistance, 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 a bit of a deviation here, but all in all, we're sort of trading in this range, and we do have a few inside days, so expect it coming into the weekend. Let's just mark out, we have two real levels. We have these candles highs and lows, and then we have these candles highs and lows. So I'll be looking for some selling to come in after we've rated this high, but if we do come higher, this is the second level to look for selling opportunities. I would prefer Ethereum shorts at the moment, just because if we take a quick look at Ethereum, Bitcoin, you can see that Bitcoin has been much stronger than Ethereum, and if we were looking to sell one instrument, which is going to be the weakest, would be Ethereum, but keeping an eye on both at the moment. So looking to sell both. If I was going to sort of get involved in Bitcoin, I'd wait for maybe a daily close below here. I did have a small position when we did get a 2 hour close, which I'll just go down and show you now. But it was coming into the weekend, so it was just a small position that I thought was worth taking. We can see let's just take in all these lows so you can see where I'm coming from. So this range low here, we did get a close and retest, but it was coming into the weekend, so it wasn't going to be a high conviction trade. Stop above here, which we've just been stopped out of, but yeah, the market's just telling me that it's not ready to go down yet, so I will look for some selling opportunities once all this support breaks. So if we can come down and retest again, and maybe during better trading hours throughout the week, I will get involved with that again. So this, I'm not really interested in too much crypto. That's the main instruments I'm looking at. So let's move on to what I'm looking at on FX. We'll go out to EURUSD. This is a daily chart. I am bearish this. Overall, we've had quite the bearish run, and the last 2 weeks we've been pulling back. So I've just been sitting on the sidelines really in FX, looking for any bearish momentum to come in. A few levels we have come into these lows. So support, could this turn to resistance? I will be looking for some movement on the lower time frames to dictate that. We did come up and failed to break this high. Now whether this is a high or not, I'm not convinced as to it yet. I'll wait for Monday's range to play out and see if we can get involved somehow. This will be the first target, which is just basic support and resistance, and then if we break down below that, just play it to the next level, and so on and so forth. But we could probably add a little bit of structure to this to get some confluence. Let's just clone that. So quite the structured pullback. Support running through here. So the first signs of weakness would be if we failed to close above this high, break structure, then we can look for some selling opportunities. Or if we come up, raid previous weekly high, get back below. Any bearish signs, but any trades I'll take, I'll post into the group. Let's take a look at pound daily chart. I do like the fact that it's taken out a major swing point. So we've had this swing high, which caused this move down, and we've come up and we've took out these stops. We've raided it, we failed to close above. It was on a Friday, so it's not really that convincing to me yet. So I'll wait for some opportunities in the lower time frames. We do have these candles highs, or opens and closes, sorry, which would be support and resistance on the lower time frames. If we can get below there, retest from the underside, then I'll be looking to sell. First level, break below, and then looking to make new lows. So I'm bullish on the dollar, and those are the two main instruments that I'm looking to trade against. We have come up into this nice level, and now looking for some sort of reaction on the lower time frames. Let's move on to dollar yen's back on the watch list, and we have some interesting patterns unfolding. We have this swing low acted as support here, and we've come down, we're just consolidating. So I'm expecting a big move. We've had these small candles, small candles, small candles, they've all been inside days. So we have the candle here, inside day, inside day, inside day. So whether we come down, sweep this low, I would prefer that, and then back above this main support, and then I'll be looking for higher prices in dollar yen. We do have a little bit of confluence of resistance going through here, support, 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 and then I've just got resistance, resistance, resistance. So prices being squeezed and squeezed. I'm bullish on the dollar, so just looking for that pop out to the upside, come back down, retest some level on the lower time frames, and then looking to get involved with a move to the upside. So it's been I've having to be quite patient with FX at the moment, so yeah, we're just waiting for that to set up. Put out this level on your charts just for a raid, and see if we can get back above, and then I would mark out these candle highs here. So that's resistance. If we can break above there, retest from the other side, and then look for that move to the upside. Another dollar pair, we'll look at Aussie dollar, and then Kiwi dollar. Aussie dollar I'm not too fussed on. If I was going to pick dollar pairs to look at, it would be euro, pound, and the dollar yen. But a few levels to note. I have this high marked out as if we do come up there, I'll be looking for a selling opportunity from there. Also have this level if we come and start breaking down dramatically at the start of the week, say. I'm not convinced that it will be this week, but I am bearish on it. So looking at those levels are key to me. I've also marked out this candles open, or candles close, sorry, because on the lower time frames, if we go down into the 2R, let's say, that's going to be support and resistance. Let's get a little bit of confluence on. Support, 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 support. If we can break down, retest from the other side, we may get a day trade down to this next level of support and resistance on the higher time frame. So that's one trade idea. Or if we come up, we can look for that break of structure once we raid some highs. So a couple of plays there. We'll just let the trade come to us, and we won't really need to chase anything. Let's look at Kiwi. daily chart. A little bit cleaner technically. We have support here and resistance here. It's all about if we can get a breakdown there. It's been quite the steep pullback. So let's see some signs of slowing down and see if we can get that move to the downside that we are looking for. We can mark out this candle high, mark out this candle's low, see what price action we get in here. If you want to add some confidence, we can look at the 2-hour chart. What's holding up this market? Wouldn't really need to go too far with the trend lines. Support, 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 support. Previous support and resistance here. Resistance, resistance, resistance. If we break below, break structure, retest that level, then you can look for some selling ideas. Or I will be looking for some selling ideas. That's what I'm looking for, and this is my thoughts on the market. Let's take a look at, I don't really want to look at too much because then you get distracted, but EURCAD, PoundCAD. We'll look at PoundCAD because it was an instrument that I've been looking at for a few weeks. Price action quite messy, to be honest, but let's take a look at the weekly. And that pattern that was unfolding in Ethereum and Bitcoin is same here. So we can see this mother candle. We've had an inside week and we've raided one side of it and rejected. So are we going to get that move to the downside that I've been waiting on? I hope so. We can mark out, let's mark out this candle's close. That will be support and resistance on the lower time frames, and we can sort of tidy it up from there. So let's take a look. Let's add a little bit of confluence. Support, 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 support. But the main support and resistance, let's go on through here. Maybe a little bit messy here, but we can see resistance, resistance, break above, support, support. So if we can break below there, retest from the underside, that is where I'd start looking for some selling opportunities on PoundCAD, come down and take out these clean lows. Let's take a look at EURCAD. Very similar obviously, but we'll look at the daily chart. Sorry if I'm flying through these, but it's just the way that I look at the markets. Trying to keep it as simple as possible, have a bias, and then look for entries. So what's happened here on EURCAD, we have resistance, resistance, resistance. We've come up, we've failed to break above that, and we've actually rejected it. So on the lower time frames, I did have a trade on this, but it was late on Friday and didn't really go anywhere. But I'll share with you where I got in. So looking at this structure, plain to see support, support, support. We got a clean break, but we also got a break below, resistance here, support here, break, retest of that level. I was looking for a rejection from there, but we just consolidated into the end of the week. So looking at this, I'll probably let Monday unfold and get a nice range, and hopefully we can utilize that range to move to the downside in EURCAD. I'll quickly look at Pound Aussie daily chart. Well, actually, let's take a look at the weekly chart because it's a little bit all over the place, to be honest, but we do have that pattern again. If we can start with a clean chart. So we have this mother bar, inside day, another inside week, sorry, apologies, but yeah, this might be a different pattern where we take out these lows, retest from the other side, and move to the downside. We might not get that raid of these highs, but just be on hand that if we do come up and raid these highs, that would be the perfect sort of entry. But let's sort of try and look at the lower time frames. I want to mark out this candle's low because that will be support and resistance on the lower time frames. Look at the 2-hour chart, and you can see that this has been in a range of death and destruction. So let's just tidy this up. Let's take a look at let's just bang on a level here. Support, 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 resistance, resistance, resistance. And this has been just in a tight range. I'm bearish this, so I'll be looking for a breakout. I'll probably wait for a daily close, to be honest, because that would just give me the added confidence. We have a gap down here that we could fill, and that'll be the first target. So either we break and stay outside and then look for that trading opportunity, or we bounce again, come up, raid one last time, and then I'll be looking for selling opportunities from this range high. I'm going to finish with CAD yen. Let's put that in. Let's look on the daily. I mean, bullish CAD yen, if you actually zoom out, we've had this huge run and this pullback, and I'm actually looking to get involved for the pullback, as you would have heard me speak about in the last trading forecast. I do have this level that I was looking at on the daily. So it's just basic resistance here, support here, come down, and we broke back inside. All these inside days. So I'll be looking for a break of structure. So let's get that on the charts for a little bit of added confluence. So if I'm looking for higher prices, I want to see what's holding down this market. Resistance, 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 and resistance. If we can explode out, come back, retest these highs, that is where I'd be looking to long CAD yen. So I think I'll hold it there. It seems to be, I don't want to take up too much of your time. As things and the week goes forward, you know, a lot of things change, but those are the instruments that I'm looking at the start of the week. Plans will change, as you know, throughout the week as price action unfolds. But wishing you a profitable week. Any trades I take, I'll post into the group, and yeah, let's hopefully get a nice non-choppy market this week.